before we begin, thank you very much to Boondorio Boondaris for joining the Patreon campaign. That's a name. I feel like that's a weird Dragon Ball Z villain. Like, it sounds like a Toriyama wordplay. But thank you very much. Thank you for your patience, by the way, too. So the way I keep track of my shoutouts is just with a folder on Gmail. So just to keep track of, like, just as the notifications come in. I accidentally marked that one as red, so I didn't see that it was still in the folder. So thank you for your patience. I got a couple more in the queue. I'm not gonna miss you. Don't worry. You're gonna come up in the next couple days. But that out of the way, that means it is time. It is time. We have a news roundup. Welcome to another Monday. So we're going to talk about all of the news that came up in the week of Transformers. And we are starting with the announcement of the Mayhem Attack Squad, the Amazon exclusive capsule line that comprises of 3 multi-packs, of which we've gotten to see 2 of them now. We're going to start with the one that's probably caused the most stir so far, and that is Windsweeper and Breakdown, which is weird because the initial listing that we saw these leaked on said it was going to be Knockout, and everyone was kind of weirded out by the fact that it was going to be Knockout. Because what else are you going to do with him? You're going to give him his boyfriend, apparently. So let's take a look quick. We'll get to discussion. We'll start with Windsweeper here. So the head sculpt is nice. I do really like the head treatment on this. It is a needle nose retool, which is pretty much exactly what we expected when we heard that Windsweeper was getting a turn. Windsweeper is an old Trigger Con. It's a one-off weird gimmick that they did in 1988, and only that year. And yeah, it's kind of cool that even they are at the point where they are getting toys, super obscure things that never really appeared in anything. I really do like the new head, but I really wish the chest had also been retooled. That feels like a little bit of a cop-out. It could have been a lot better. It could have looked a lot nicer and more accurate to this point. Like, it does kind of feel like an old school, repaint where, like, we got the character, yeah, but you can still see the character it's supposed to be. I don't know. I think Needle Nose is obscure enough that we don't really have to look that hard to see Windsweeper here. So at least I have that going for it. The Target Masters are back. Much to my chagrin, those also were not retooled into his actual weapons. Now, it gives him more play value because, okay, you're getting 2 Target Masters. Okay, cool, fine. But, man, they just do not look right. They don't look right for the character, and they are very lazily done. You can see they're molded in the tan plastic, and they're just completely painted over in silver, which is what I feared that they would do. I don't know. This was the letdown of the batch. I really wish they had done something better with these. Jet mode looks good. Jet mode looks good. No complaint about the jet mode. Like, that's just straight up Windsweeper there. Now, let's talk about this one that everyone seems to take issue with. So, yes, it is a United Prime Bulkhead retool into Breakdown, which already has people weirded out because they're rivals in the show, so why are you going to use the same mold to represent both? A lot of people going on about, well, the Trash Master mold's available. That would have been a little bit closer. Still would have been bulky. Still, and that would have, kept them from being the same mold. You also, you wouldn't really want Breakdown that could be disassembled either. I feel like that's not, well, maybe you would, because he did get killed and rebuilt. So maybe there is something there. I actually like this mold better as Breakdown than I do as Bulkhead. I think it suits him a little bit better, but it is weird that they are the same mold. And it's still, let's be honest, not a fantastic mold in general. It's a very basic one from a line I expect more out of these days. He looks okay. I'm like somewhat indifferent to him. It's just like, yeah, it's another character that really could have been done better than this. I don't know. He looks okay, though. He looks fine. I'm not going to really give it too much hassle. Yeah, there's the Target Masters again. We don't need to see the official renders. Okay, so pack number 2. And this is the one that got everyone excited because it is a 2-pack of Deluxe Insecticons. We've got ourselves Barrage and Chop Shop. And these are Interesting. So for starters, Chop Shop, I love how Chop Shop turned out. Okay, I mean it's reusing shrapnel, so some things are going to be a little bit off, but for the most part, he looks good. I really like how he looks. I'm not sure about the translucent spot on the body. I feel like that could have been molded out. I feel like that could have been done away with. I don't think you need it, but you know, whatever. Whatever. It doesn't really hurt it. Doesn't really hurt it. Yeah, he just looks like a straight up solid Chop Shop. I mean, I love that the Deluxe Insecticons are getting another go around with proper toys. He looks good. He looks good. I'm happy for. I'm gonna look forward to him quite a bit. Yeah, he's just nice. He's just nice. Barrage is where I take some issue. I mean, being a retool of Bombshell, I think was a given. I don't think it came out really great. He's missing that big chest, that like really swollen chest look that he had. And on this particular, like the way this toy is done, you really do kind of like realize like that the shoulders are kind of set a little bit low. I don't like seeing the mushroom peg through the chest. That's super weird. I really don't like that. Overall, yeah, it's just, it seems a lot more forced. It seems a lot more forced than Chop Shop. Cool, the Barrage is getting another go around, and overall it still looks okay. It just doesn't look right. Like, there's something off about it that I'm not happy about. He's going to be the oddball of this whole batch. And then, like, look at the way they handled him in bug mode. Like, he doesn't have a bug head. He just has eyes attached to, like, this panel. Yeah, I'm not really happy with how this came out. I'm really hoping the stock photography doesn't have that assembly folded up correctly, because it does kind of look like there's two slots that would wedge around like Barrage's like mohawk, his front crest there, and maybe hold itself up a little bit better, because that's not pretty. That's not pretty. It's what they had to work with, but it's not as good. I should mention it's also a 3-pack. You know, it does come with this one. Minotaurus is the name. The emblem on the head is the emblem of Solus Prime. This might actually be intended to be the Forge of Solus Prime, in a really weird, Battle Master. Yeah, see, look. When it's folded up better, it looks better. When it's folded up all the way, like I'm hopefully that's just an error on the part of the toy photographer. Yeah, so overall, like, it's an interesting set of packs. There's some good, some bad. So people wanted my thoughts on it. There's my full thoughts. Waiting to see what pack number 3 is, because that's the one that apparently had Bludgeon in it, which at this point would be, I think, the only member of the Mayhem Attack Squad who was actually in the Mayhem Attack Squad at some point. It's an ever-changing roster on that one. So we will wait and see what the 3rd pack has in store. Speaking of multi-packs, we have the official photography now for the brand new 5-pack, so we get to see all of the toys that will come with your Generations Earth Mode Hound. Also, I want to point out, like, Hasbro's got some new photographers or something, because, like, these shots are, like, so much better than some of the others that I've seen. It's a really cool take on Hound. There are some deco changes from the original one that we had seen. The silver is now missing from his rocket and his gun. He's got a little bit more yellow on the forearms. His what used to be gray has a little tinge of green to it now. So he stands out a little bit different. Jazz, I'm really looking forward to, because that is a toy with some fragility issues due to its clear plastic. So to get him in full solid plastic has me very, very happy. Trailbreaker, my boy, I still wish those panels on his arms had a hinge or tool to fold up, but you know what? I'll take it. Still looks okay. Still looks fine. There's Wheeljack, another toy that had translucent fragility, so that is another that's another problem solved. Like the gray, don't like how much boxier he looks. I will admit that's one part where the translucent plastic was kind of helping his appearance. Yeah, here we got the vehicle mode shots. Yep, Hound looking good. Trailbreaker, Jazz, got Very simplified deco, but that's cartoon accurate for you. Sunstreaker, who didn't see the robot mode photo of him. Wheeljack again, very simplified, very cartoon accurate. Look at the dust up. Look at the dust spraying as they drive out. Like, this is an awesome shot. There's even blur in the front. Like, it's done so well. There you can see the robot mode of Sunstreaker. Yeah, the set itself looks pretty good. Like, especially if you missed any of these molds previously. This is one of those sets that makes me thinking, like, well, there's going to be a lot hitting my eBay at some point. Because, yeah, I've already got it pre-ordered. I want this set. Because, yes, no clear... it's a set of Generations figures that represents year one that I don't have to worry about clear plastic ruining at some point. So, there you go. Bunch of repaints on the way. Let's see. Let's get some in-hand shots for the week, starting with the Lunar Cruiser Prime that Takara released. This is getting into people's hands now, and this has always been a fascinating figure every time I have looked at it. I mean, for starters, to make a vehicle that is, you know, literally not something you see on Earth, kind of interesting. It's a very different look. It's a very different vehicle we're going with, and it seems to come together nicely in robot mode. He does have something of a backpack on him, but he turns into a pretty solid looking Optimus Prime. A little bit of new take to him with the darker colors and the bright white parts coming through. Yeah, looking good. It's just a fascinating figure because it's so out there from what, you know, Takara would usually do, you know. Yeah, it's actually like surprisingly good. I thought it would be like more like backpacky and kibbly than it turned out to be. Oh, well, maybe an aftermarket thing. That might be something I grab along the way if I like really need something different. If I'm in the mood for something really weird. Here's one I am excited for. We have new pictures of Shard in hand. This is the next of the armorizers, the Rock Lord substitutes. These are terribly cropped, so these images should be a lot bigger, but we'll take what we can get. So we actually get to see the kibble from the vehicle mode in hand, in Shard's hands rather. You know, so they work as basically gigantic mega busters, as you know, as weapon accessories. The rotors apparently just kind of come off on 5mm ports to give yourself all kinds of blades to work with. That's actually kind of a neat solution to the rotor problem that some Transformers have. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't really bother doing anything with the tail either. That's a little odd. So I don't know. I mean, it's an armorizer. Parts of it will come off. I am assuming things like that will be able to come off to form extra weaponry. No, it's just a super cool look. I really love the look of this one. I think of all of the Izers, this is probably going to turn into one of my favorite ones. Yeah, so cool to see more. Cool to see more. I want to see more. Like, I want to see more of these, you know, these armorizers. And, like, I want to see how weird they can come up with just, like, new characters with rock aesthetic. Speaking of characters with weird aesthetics, Takara is going to do a TV Kun magazine exclusive clear version of the mainline Rise of the Beast Mirage. This is what we called Core Series, which was supposed to be the main line, and then because of studio delays, etc., it just kind of became this weird thing you usually had to import in order to get the ones you wanted. But yeah, it's a Mirage in all clear plastic. That's pretty much a given. If you're a Mirage mold, that's going to happen to you someday. You know how I feel about a toy made of this much clear plastic. I don't have to repeat my sermon anymore. We're going to continue on and just say, yeah, it looks kind of neat. The real pull here is like to take it, like, because that Mirage in the movie didn't really do invisibility. He did holograms. So what you really needed was to just start putting Mirage heads and decos onto just random Transformers. That would have been more fun. That would have been more fun for me. Let's see. Huge rumor. So we got a leak from a Lego insider. And if you've never seen those, this is how leaks are handled in the Lego department. If they have it in hand, or if they get the information, they have to take it and do something like this in order to not get busted. They're a lot more strict about this than Hasbro. So, at the grand total of $90 and 950 pieces. On July 1st, they will be releasing their next Transformers Lego set. It is a fully transforming Bumblebee. Likely Generation 1 based, which the hilarious part to me is going to be when Lego has figured out how to not only build a transforming Bumblebee out of Lego brick, they also figured out how to avoid having a gigantic piece of his vehicle become a shield. That's the part that's going to be hilarious to me. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. The Prime is a fantastic figure. The Prime is a fantastic figure itself. And I'm really excited to see what they do on a smaller scale. And just to see it continue in general, because, you know, give me a Soundwave, give me a Megatron, give me a whole bunch of things. I want a lot of these. My wallet doesn't. I do. If your wallet can absorb gigantic purchases, there's another gigantic statue on the way, this time of Devastator from Premium Collectibles Studio. This is a pretty awesome looking Devastator with alternate parts. You have really cool like hulking pose. Yeah, look, you got optional weapons, the drill and the cannon. The drill more or less closer to the toy. We only got to see it in Devastation. Beyond that, you do not get to choose your head. Looks like they settled on a screaming head where originally it was kind of muted. But you are stuck with the visor. If you're a two-eyed Devastator type, sorry. It does look really, really cool. The pre-orders start on the 7th. Do we have a price? Do we have a price on this? So I don't see a price. They're probably going to announce that once the whole thing is released. This thing is 40 inches tall. That's museum scale, which means absolutely gigantic. I hope I'm reading this wrong. I hope this is just like, I think it's actually 10 to 12. I actually think it's 10 to 12. I hate to say it, I pull news off of TFW 2005 all the time, but Black Convoy, when he posts news, is prone to a typo here and there, so probably 10 to 12. It's still going to be expensive, because that's still a big statue, and it's still very impressive piece. So we'll find out more once the pre-orders are open. See. We have new images of blocky Transformers. This is their Galaxy version Wave 3, as they are titling it. So we got a cartoon accurate Bumblebee. We've seen these before. These are just cute little like ball joint posable figurines. They look pretty decent for what they are. Pretty posable for the size too. We got the white Optimus Prime, or the white Prime version of Ultra Magnus. Sideswipe joining the crew. There's Red Alert, Slag, because we can call him Slag because this is a Chinese release. Beast and Robot mode, which is cool to see. We got Soundwave looking a lot shinier than before. Yep, and then we get a set of Constructicons. Oh, there's the shiny. Whoa, okay, I take it back. That's a shiny Soundwave. Okay, yeah, that's just glossy. That's just glossy. All right. And then, yeah, we get Bone Crusher, Scavenger. I wish these were easier to get a hold of, because these are actually, like, very cute, very cheap. Well, not cheap. But these are just very cute and, you know, decently functional G1 toys. These are perfect for keeping on a desk as just fiddle figures. Really, really nice stuff. Really, really nice stuff. Like, I'm surprised. It feels like these were just announced and we're already up to Wave 3. Like, they are just barreling through these. Kind of looking forward to more. So last week we showed off a brand new Optimus Prime drink cup straw thing that came out. We now have Drink and Play Transformers Water Fruit figurines. This is just another kid's drink that you can buy, and it just happens to come packaged like a Transformer with Transformer toys attached. Yep, we have Bumblebee, we have Windblade, we have Optimus Prime and Megatron in their evergreen designs, because all of these cheap products tend to use the evergreen. And then the figurines, if you're curious, because of course you would be, they're reusing the RID 2015 designs that they did years ago. So they have not created new molds for anything. They are not, the characters on the packaging are not representative of what you get. In fact, only one, only one tells you one of your possible toys. And they're just simple little figurines. They don't articulate or transform. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. You open up a Windblade and you get a green Grimlock. That's upsetting. But it is what it is. I mean, it's a little toy for kids with their little drinks. So I guess there's no real harm in that. And if it's not just your kids who need something to play with, if you have fur children, then you have an option as well. There's a brand new Squeak toy, Optimus Prime, for your pet dog. You got your tug-of-war legs, of course. You got a smiley drawn onto his faceplate. That's a little bit odd. A little bit different for a Prime. But, yeah, it's just like a Squeak Tug dog toy. But it's just interesting. If you are in need of literally everything in your life to be Transformer-based, or if you're a big Decepticon fan, you have something now for your dog. And that is going to be it for this week's News Roundup. Lots of stuff from all over the place this week, which kind of makes it for an interesting little news video. So, let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to. There's a lot of exciting stuff here, especially the Mayhem. Let me know what you think of those. And as always, I will see you next time